time to give up on the Blue Magic grease. Yeah, I said it. It's time. Give it up. I know a lot of us, me included, grew up using this grease because that's what our parents use. And before y'all get in these comments saying, it works for me, my hair loves it, that's fine, to each his own. This grease is going to dry your hair and your scalp out. When it comes to the ingredients in Blue Magic, it contains mineral oils, petroleum, which are all known to be really bad for your hair. It can cause a buildup on your scalp and stop moisture from entering the hair shaft, resulting into dry hair and split ends.
Grease have had a bad connotation ever since I went natural, so I never really thought about using it. I never really thought about it because the natural hair community condemns it. Well, fast forward to May of 2024, I gave grease a try, and the reason was I was experiencing hair loss. So at that time my hair became really thin, like I lost my hair's thickness, my hair became thin and weightless. So I felt like my hair butter might just be too heavy for my hair, so I decided to try grease, and the grease I used in particular was Dax Indian hemp grease. And hi, I'm Essie and you're welcome to my channel. For my returning subscribers, welcome back and thank you for always supporting your baby girl. Okay,
this is all you need. For your next protective style, you just need some Blue Magic, actually some water first and then some Blue Magic to lock in that moisture.
I've been seeing lots of videos of black people on TikTok telling other black people to go back to the basics, which is the use of grease on their natural hair. Not all that video have a lot of context to it, and today we're going to be unpacking a lot, the pros, the cons, and how to effectively incorporate grease in your hair care routine. So for those that do not know, grease is petroleum based, just like your Vaseline. It has strong occlusives and emollients in it. Alright, so grease can do a lot of things in your hair, but just like your hair butter and your hair oil, grease helps to slow down the loss of moisture from the hair. It's used mostly as what we know as our sealant to lock in moisture in the hair after you apply your leave-in conditioner, your whatever product, mostly liquid-based product you're going to apply on your hair. So you use your grease as the last man standing to stand outside and protect the hair and to slow down the loss of moisture from the hair. Does grease grow hair? I've seen lots of videos talking about how grease grew their natural hair. Their hair was unhealthy, and when they started using grease in their hair, the hair became so healthy and it grew their hair. Well, the answer is no. Grease doesn't grow hair per se, but grease, if used effectively and used properly, it can help, it can encourage length retention. Even if you want to grow your hair, you should focus on what you eat. Okay, hair growth is a natural process. Without length retention, there is no way your hair is going to grow longer. Let me break that down for you. Hair growth occurs in the innermost layer of the hair that your eyes cannot see. Okay, so hair growth is a natural process, but with length retention, you have to put in, manpower. You have to put in the effort in order for you to retain length. So most people who started using grease and they started noticing some changes, I want to believe that you also changed some things in your hair care routine, and that was why it's giving you the results that you are seeing. The grease alone is not what grew your hair. There are lots of people who wear wigs, weaves, those people who wear protective styles back to back. That protective style is responsible for that length that you are seeing, because since you started using grease, you're not manipulating your hair. Your hair is mostly in a protective style. If you're going to be honest, that is what helped with length retention. Without length retention, your hair will not grow longer, and without hair growth, there is no length to retain. So they work hand in hand. Your hair has to grow, and then you have to retain the growth, like preserve the growth that is growing out of your scalp by adopting a healthy and proper hair care routine. You get? So grease does not grow hair, but if used the right way, it can help you retain length, just like you use your hair butter, your hair oil, and you're able to retain length. All right, these products are just topical products. That is your conditioner, your leave-in conditioner, your hair butter, your shampoos, is to promote a healthy hair, because when your hair is healthy, it would eventually grow. So that is the job of our product. And when you use them well, plus a good hair care routine and good styling routine, because some people, your styling routine and maintenance sucks. The way you comb your hair, the way you just handle your hair can be very, very rough. So proper hair care routine plus protective styling is what will give you that result, which is the length retention. You're not manipulating your hair. You're not putting your hair through any kind of stress. You're not overcombing it. You're not changing styles every week. My last protective style, I wore that for 5 weeks, and you all saw how much length I retained from wearing a protective style that long. So the fact that I'm using grease in my hair and I maybe used grease when I installed the protective style does not mean that it's the grease that grew my hair. It's the fact that I am not stressing that hair. That hair has time to rest and regenerate. Let me just use the word regenerate. It has time to rest and just grow on its own. So grease does not grow hair. In case you want to go back to using grease just because you think or you see videos of people telling you that grease is going to grow your hair, you're really on the wrong track. If you just want to use it solely that is going to grow your hair, if you're struggling with length retention and you feel that, okay, I've been seeing videos of grease, let me just give grease a try since they say it grows your hair. Sorry, it not go work. So don't start using grease solely because people said it's going to grow your hair, because it will not work. If you do not already you don't have like a simple hair care routine, a routine that works for you, and you just want to start using grease anyhow because you just have to apply it on your scalp, smear it here and there, and it works, you're not going to see any result. Which brings us to the next thing. Should I or can I use grease on my scalp? The answer is yes. You can use grease on your scalp because grease is non-comedogenic, which means that grease does not clog the pores of your scalp. Grease is too large or too big to penetrate the tiny holes on the scalp. You can use it on your scalp, but the downside is, since it's not penetrating the scalp, it means that it is sitting on the surface of the hair and on the scalp. And if you are into hair care, you understand what this means. When something is always sitting down on your scalp or on your hair, you know what that leads to? Build up. It's going to lead to build up. It's not penetrating, it's just sitting there. And the more you keep layering, because I know most people, when they apply grease on their scalp today, maybe in like 3 days later, they're applying another grease on their scalp just to keep it shiny and moisturized. So they use that grease on their scalp for, just reapplying and reapplying grease on the hair and on the scalp in the sense of remoisturizing the hair. Personally, I would advise you not to use grease on your scalp, but there are so many, pros out there telling you to use grease on your scalp since it doesn't clog the pores. And the reason is because if it doesn't clog the pore and it doesn't penetrate inside of the pores, or it doesn't penetrate the pores, it means it's sitting on the hair. So that is going to cause lots of buildup on your scalp. So personally, I would advise the use of essential oil mix on your scalp because they penetrate into the scalp, so they don't sit on the scalp, they don't cause any form of buildup on the scalp, and you can apply them like 2-3 times in a week and it doesn't really do anything on your scalp because they are penetrating. They don't sit there, they go inside. You see the difference? Grease does not penetrate, but it stays on top. On the other hand, essential oil is going to penetrate inside, so there is no sign of it on the scalp. You see the advantage of using essential oils on your scalp. But if you use grease on your scalp and it works for you, very good. But I personally will not use grease on my scalp. The dust, the dirt, the build-up, the accumulation, I cannot deal. So I'm not going to use, and I'm not going to advise any of my friend or anybody to use grease on their scalp for that reason. People that also should not use grease on their scalp are those people that suffer from scalp conditions like dandruff, psoriasis. The yeast-like fungus that exist naturally on our scalp, they feed on these oils. So when you slap grease on your scalp, you are like feeding them, giving them more chance to grow on your scalp. So if you have dandruff, you have psoriasis, you have dermatitis, scalp issues, please do not use grease on your scalp. You can still use essential oil like tea tree oil, peppermint oil mixed with jojoba oil, which resemble that of our scalp, and use it on your scalp. It's going to actually create more relief for you, especially tea tree oil because it's antifungal and antimicrobial. So yeah, that is my stand of if you should use grease on your scalp. Okay, why do people preach against the use of grease on natural hair? Like I said, grease have had this bad connotation. Like the natural hair community has already condemned it before I went natural in 2016. So when I went natural, I had no idea about the use of grease. I mean, I should have started using my Vaseline instead, right? So the natural hair community has condemned it, so we mostly do not use it. And the reason why people preach against the use of grease is as a result of the coating on the hair. People always be like, our forefathers used grease and their hair was moisturized. We are not there to know that your forefathers' hair was moisturized when they used grease on their hair. Many people till today still mistake oily hair, greasy hair to a moisturized hair. Our forefathers might not even realize that their hair were greasy and oily because most of the time they do not really have a routine. All they do is to just slap it in, put it in a protective style, and they are good to go. Now, the reason why our forefathers, their hair were able to grow even just using grease, my hair was very long when my mom was using grease in my hair. The reason their hair was so healthy, regardless, was because most of the time they are not manipulating their hair as today's age. Now, presently, this generation, we are exploring different hairstyles, especially women. We are wearing knotless braid, we're doing butterfly locks, we're doing two-strand twists, boho braids, spring twists, everything. So this manipulation on the hair is leading to lots of, hair loss, breakage, and a lot of times. Our forefathers, or like the past or the previous generation, I don't even know how I'm going to put it, theirs is just to wash their hair, slap on the grease, and maybe put their hair in a wig. So most of the time, the hair is not really like manipulated. We were not there to assume the old generation, how their hair felt. We do not really have an idea. We don't have that first-hand experience to speak for them. Do you get what I mean? So the reason why I'm saying this is people preach against the use of grease because it's going to coat the hair, making it hard for any other product or any other thing you want to apply on your hair to penetrate inside of your hair. And it gives that false look of moisturized hair. So this is why people preach against it. People are mostly heavy-handed with the use of grease in their hair. So what they do is they'll just slap it on their hair without any proper prepping, no hydration in the hair. If you want to get the most from your grease, you make sure that your hair has been properly hydrated. Most of you do not even know the difference between a hydrated hair and a moisturized hair. Hair has to be hydrated for you to retain moisture. If there is no form of water present in your hair, and you're just slapping oils and butters and grease and everything, it's not doing anything on your scalp. It's not doing anything on your hair. So I've been saying all this. So what are the benefits of grease in your hair?
Is it actually wrong to apply grease throughout your hair? Because if it's wrong, then I don't want to be right. In my last video, I decided to go back to the Blue Magic and apply it throughout my entire hair, and then I braided it up because I was going to do a protective style for a couple of weeks. And when I tell y'all that my hair still felt moisturized as I was unraveling these braids, and I had these in for weeks, okay? And look at this amazing braid out that it just turned into. My hair felt so moisturized. Look at the shine. My hands even felt oily, as you guys can see in the next clip that I'm trying to show you guys. This is all you need. For your next protective style, you just need some Blue Magic, actually some water first and then some Blue Magic to lock in that moisture. Now, I totally understand why people were saying that Blue Magic is making their hair grow or it's making them retain their length. But also, since this is a very heavy product, make sure to clarify your hair on your next wash day so you don't get product buildup or clog your hair follicles. Blue Magic is still a 10 out of 10 for me. Now, what OG hair care brand should I try next? Let me know in the comments.
So far from the videos I've seen and also from my personal experience, grease can make your hair soft if you use it the right way. Alright, with grease, you do not really have to be heavy-handed. In fact, with any product, you do not really have to be heavy-handed. The job of this thick product, which we use to seal in moisture in our hair, is just to help slow down the loss of water, hydration in the hair. But eventually, it's still going to leave. But their job is just to slow it down. So you do not really have to use a huge amount, to seal it in for the water to keep staying inside. One way or the other, your hair is still going to lose water. So don't stress yourself about using or being so heavy-handed when you apply or seal moisture in your hair. So grease can help soften your hair. It's an emollient. It can also help you with a defined, less frizzy, hairstyle. For instance, your twist out, your braid out. Yes, grease can do that. I've seen a lot of videos on that. Then I'm using grease. I've been using this Dax Indian hair grease for 3 weeks or 4 weeks, yeah, and I feel like it's not too heavy on my hair because right now my hair don't even need anything that is too thick or too heavy, seeing that it lost a lot of thickness, so it can't handle anything that is too thick like my hair butter or anything like that. So I'm using this grease and so far I am loving it. The grease I had in mind was Kuza Indian hemp, but fortunately my sister got this Dax Indian hemp, so I've been using it for 4 weeks now and it's just been good. So my experience is it was amazing, it was nice, and I was just being careful. I'm not gonna lie, I was like being really meticulous about using grease in my hair. So I was using it in a very small amount, which I'd always advise. Use them in small amounts in your natural hair. To make your hair not to be greasy when you are styling your hair or when you're making use of grease is to not be heavy-handed. That is just the goal, not to be heavy-handed with grease. So if you eventually start using grease in your hair care routine, the best way to go about it is to make sure that you're clarifying your scalp at least once in a month. Even hair butter, even hair oils like castor oil, which is a thick oil, Anytime you're using this thick product, especially those that are heavy-handed, please try and clarify your scalp, because when you clarify your scalp, you're giving your hair more room to be hydrated. But make sure that you're already getting rid of the ones you applied previously, so the new one can work effectively. Most people, their hair, when you touch their hair, it feels greasy and it feels really weighed down because they just keep applying this product on the hair. Like, I'm using grease, so let me just keep applying it on my hair, and it's just going to cause and lead to more build-up, weighing your hair down, not giving your hair some room to breathe. It's just going to coat your hair, and your hair is just going to keep feeling more weighed down. And if you're not cautious enough, you might start experiencing breakage, because your hair feels so, limp and too greasy, and it might just start falling off. There is no strength, there is nothing in the hair. Clarifying your scalp is going to help, and you can use your clarifying shampoo, you can use your bentonite clay, you can use your ACV. I don't really know how to use ACV, but I know about clarifying shampoo and bentonite clay when it comes to clarifying your hair. I've only used 2 grease in my hair, the Hair Dax Indian Hemp Grease and the Kuza hair grease. This is one I'm currently using, and I prefer the Hair Dax Indian Hemp Grease because it's not so heavy. Then when I started using it, my hair was, I told you my hair was already thin. That grease was just so, it was okay. It wasn't so thick for my hair, but this one feels thick, so I use just very teeny amounts whenever I'm using it to seal my hair or moisturize my hair. The only good thing I like about this is it smells really good. I've known Kuza literally all my life, but I never really tried it, but I'm always sure of the smell, and that was why I decided to go for it. I should have just gotten the Hair Dax because I saw it, so I'm going to be getting the Hair Dax. So if you ask me to recommend, I'll recommend the Hair Dax because that's the one I've used. I've heard that Blue Magic is good, but I've never tried Blue Magic. Alright, if you have really thick hair, like my hair is not thick, I have like medium thickness. My hair is not like thick. So if you have really thick hair, you should go for like the ones that are really thick, maybe like something like this. But if you have fine natural hair and you want to start using grease in your hair, like I said, I've only used the Hair Dax. Just go for the ones that are not really thick, all right, that won't weigh your hair down. My general overview about grease, it's something you should give it a try. You should just give it a try. There is no harm in trying when it comes to natural hair. Just be careful. You can give it a try and just start incorporating and introducing it little by little in your hair routine, and I'm sure you're going to enjoy it. I still miss my hair butter though, but I'm enjoying grease. So we've come to the end of today's video. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Do let me know your thoughts in the comment section, and also if you've used grease, kindly share your experience with hair grease, the pros, the cons, or just your experience about hair grease. And if you do not use hair grease, if you don't use hair grease, do let us know why in the comment section. I mean, we're all here to learn, so your feedbacks are welcome. Just let me know your thoughts. Do not forget to give this video a thumbs up, and also leave, I've said to like the video, yeah. Do not forget to give this video a thumbs up, and also do not forget to give this video a thumbs up, and also leave a comment, and also share, and also watch the ads. I don't know. So thank you for watching, and I'm going to see you in my next video. Bye.